Guys, can you hear us?
I can hear you.
Okay.
Yes, I can hear you.
Ready?
Ready?
Yeah. There we are.
A blue up there. Yep.
Does anybody have the opportunity to call in?
I have called in.
No, I mean.
You talk about Zoom or are you talking about just call in general?
Just talking about
Can you
somebody from
increase
the
the
outside.
volume?
Who's doing that?
It's hard to hear him.
Christopher, could you talk again? We want to see if your volume went up.
Yes, is this any better?
No. Nope.
Try it on the bottom. Try it on the bottom.
Yeah, I just went up a few.
Kath, you look like you blend into the seats.
I know, just my head. Oh, it's at 100%.
I see a head and an arm, that's
Just my
it.
head and my arms.
I like that, though.
That should be.
No, I'm saying on the public hearing, that we put something where people can call in as well. Who's handling that?
I believe that.
Usually you can count participants and figure out whether there's somebody there or not. Where's the participant list?
There was a 1-800 number that would come into this.
Okay, so we don't, so it would show up. Okay,
That would be my understanding, yes.
okay. Who are the two town managers' office? One is Kylie and who's the other?
That I'm not familiar with.
It's just Dan. I'm running it, so I'm connected.
Oh, there's that person.
So Dan, you can tell if anybody calls in, right?
Yeah. I'm not sure if it's published anywhere, but
We put it on our agenda.
okay. Yeah, I can see if people are trying to call in. Yep.
We're not expecting anybody to call in, but just in case.
Okay.
Thank you, Dan. We didn't recognize your picture. Okay, I have 6 o'clock.
So I have the written motion here, Kathy, too, so. Yes. I have the written motion.
Yeah, I have it.
So, okay. I'm just gonna read this.
So is everybody here that's going to be here? That all?
Yeah.
Yep. I lost my public hearing notice. Do you want me to go to a microphone or can I speak
You can speak from there.
from the chick from here? Okay. All right, well, let me know when you want to get started.
Okay.
We're all set.
All set? Okay, good evening, everybody. This is Kathy Puglisi speaking. I'm going to call this meeting to order. Today is August 6, 2020 at 6 p.m. The first item of business I need is a motion to ratify a public hearing. May I have a motion?
Madam Chair,
Yes.
motion to ratify the public hearing, motion to ratify establishing a public hearing for Thursday, August 6, 2020 at 6 o'clock to hear public comments and consider a proposal for the 2020 Neighborhood Assistant Act from the Sam and Elizabeth Colt Industrial and Frontier Heritage Center.
Have a second,
Madam
please.
Chair, second that motion.
Any discussion on the motion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Thank you. Okay, next item is to have our town clerk read the notice of the public hearing, please.
Thank you. Notice is hereby given that the Plainville Town Council will hold a public hearing at 6 p.m. on Thursday, August 6, 2020, in the council chambers of the Municipal Center, 1 Central Square in Plainville, to hear public comments and consider a proposal for the 2020 Neighborhood Assistance Act from the Sam and Elizabeth Colt Industrial and Frontier Heritage Center.
You-
register our voter meeting.
That's not here.
I'm gonna take her down, Robert. I'm gonna take her down.
That's not here.
Oh, okay. He's been so helpful, but I thought I knew.
Dated Plainville,
Okay,
Connecticut, this
okay.
31st day of July.
All right, we just had the notice of the public hearing read Right now, I'll open up the public hearing. If there's anybody online that wishes to speak to the public hearing. Do we have anybody online that wishes to speak to the public hearing?
Dan, as far as you know, is there anybody?
There is no one.
Thank you.
There's no one. Okay. Having said there are no folks that wish to speak to the public hearing, I will close it at this point in time. Before we move on, though, I'm going to ask the town manager just to give a brief description as to what this particular proposal is all about. So Robert, could you just give a brief overview of that?
Yes, the Neighborhood Assistance Act is an opportunity for nonprofits to get tax credits for donations that are made to them. It requires a legislative body of a town to recognize, hold a public hearing, and to fill out an application that gets filed with the state. And the state, once they receive that and approve it, any donations made during a particular, for this fiscal year, that particular corporation would receive tax credits for same. The Sam and Elizabeth Colt Industrial and Frontier Heritage Center went through this process in Plymouth. They had an issue with a hearing notice, and so their application was rejected. They've asked the town of Plainville if we would hold a hearing this evening and consider approval of their application, which would be sent to the state for consideration. The deadline for filing was July 31st. They've asked for an extension. It's unclear as to whether that extension is going to be granted, but we're going to, if the council approves it tonight, we're going to send it in because they've asked for an extension until August 7th, which is tomorrow. So we'll meet that deadline if the deadline is extended.
Okay. Okay. Thank you for the information. Next item of business we have is consider the 2020 Neighborhood Assistance Act proposal. May I have a motion for that, please?
Madam Chair,
Yes.
motion to approve the 2020 Neighborhood Assistant Act proposal from the Sam and Elizabeth Colt Industrial and Frontier Heritage Center in the amount of $150,000 for energy conservation, replacing windows, roofs of the two 1850s Colt brownstones.
May I have a second?
Madam Chair, I'll second that.
I have a motion and a second. Is there any discussion on that motion? Hearing none. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any
Aye.
opposed?
Aye.
Thank you. Over there, thank you. All right, next item of business we have is a tax refund for 85 Ivy Road.
This is for
May I have a motion to approve, please?
Madam Chair, motion to approve the tax refund for Arthur Kroll, 85 Ivy Drive, Ivy Road, in the amount of $278.69.
Madam Chair, I second that motion.
Okay, I have a motion and a second. Is there any discussion on that motion? Hearing none. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Thank
Aye.
you. Any opposed? All right, item number 6. May I have a motion, please?
Oh, I have one of these.
Madam Chair,
Yes, please.
motion to award bid number 2021-05E pavement crack sealing to U-Seal of Bloomfield, Connecticut, as provided by the Capital Region Council of Governments bid process solicitation 690.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Robert, can you just give a little detail about what we're approving? This is part of our,
Yeah, the capital improvement plan included $50,000 to do crack sealing on our roads. The Public Works Department, Roadways Department is recommending a cold seal crack for, these are cracks that are a little bit larger and they last, they've been more effective than the hot seal. In the past, the cold crack seal has caused some issues with tracking of oil and whatnot, but until it works its way into the cracks, they've improved the program. They've improved it. We did some of the cold crack sealing recently on Northwest Drive near the bridge, and we had pretty good experience with it. It was a lot better than it was in the past. I know we did receive an email from Mr. Kislik, talking about the concerns that he had about the coal crack ceiling, to a certain degree, there's legitimacy to the concern, but unfortunately, as staff, we feel that the benefits outweigh the detriments in terms of maintaining the roads a lot better than using the hot crack seal in this particular instance.
Okay. And we have a list of roads that are being proposed to be done.
Yes.
Can we read those out? Are those definitive or should we?
No, those are definitive.
Okay, so the roads that are being considered are Weatherstone Ridge, Camp Street, North Washington Street to Bradley, Bradley Street to West Washington, Bristol, South Ridge Road, Sachem Road, Whiting Street, West Main Street to Broad, White Oak Avenue, Northwest Drive, Camp Street to LEA Driveway, Rockwell Avenue, Wayne Drive, Stillwell Drive, Sherman Street, Sheridan Court, Pershing Drive, Hale Court, Library Parking Lot, and the Firehouse Parking Lot. So those are the areas that are being considered to be done. Okay,
And we're recommending taking advantage of a CROG, Capital Region Council of Governments bid, and using their prices, so.
okay,
What's being proposed.
okay. Are there any other comments? Hearing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Thank you. Okay, that takes care of the business on our regular agenda. We have an executive session for police union negotiations. May I have a motion to enter executive session?
Madam Chair, motion to enter executive session for police union negotiations.
Second that motion.
Okay, I have a motion and a second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Will we be taking any action after this session, Mr. Lee, or no?
No,
No? Okay, there'll be no action, no further
Nope.
action taken.
that's correct.
Okay, all right.
We were gonna do a separate call-in for that, but seeing that, Dan, are you still online?
I am here.
Dan, if somebody calls in, could you let us know right away, or, because the meeting is over, but rather than have everybody hang up and dial back separately on the executive session, you think that'll work? Just let us know if somebody else comes on board.
Okay, will do.
Okay, thank you.
Do you need the microphones for this, or you're gonna be able to hear both?
Can you hear us all, Jesse and